What is something that is seen every day yet never thought twice about? Maybe it's the building along the side of the road or the road you're driving on itself. Well, something that was brought to my attention is trees. Trees make up 30% of Earth's land surface, 50% of plant productivity, 45% of carbon stored on land is found in trees. That is, according to a journal article I read on Seeing Forest for the Trees and the Carbon. Due to their significance for everyday life, trees are important. Today, I am going to bring attention to the process and the advantages and disadvantages that come from timber harvesting. Tree harvesting, also known as timber harvesting, is the process of cutting down trees, whether it be a whole area or a simple selection. In order to harvest trees, machines are needed, such as a skidder, which carries trees, a tree cutter, which cuts down the trees, a loader, which in the South it's known as a knuckle boom, but it is used to load the trees, and a tractor-trailer combination used to haul the trees off. Despite the process of harvesting trees, many advantages and disadvantages can come. One advantage to timber harvesting is expansion. Once land is cleared of trees, buildings and factories can be placed in this newly cleared land. Also, subdivisions can be placed in the newly cleared land. Subdivisions are important because, as the human population, we do grow every day and we need somewhere to put our houses. Lastly, clearing trees can be used for food production. Farmers can use the newly cleared land to plant crops, and once the crops are harvested and sent to supermarkets, we purchase them. Another advantage to timber harvesting would be the materials that are produced from the trees. The wood we use to build our houses, stores, and restaurants comes from trees. Also, the paper we use in school to write our papers for or in businesses comes from trees. I read in one journal article called Productivity and Cost of Cut-to-Length Trees and Whole Harvesting Trees says that 10,000 sheets of paper can come from one standard pine tree. Lastly, cardboard comes from trees. Cardboard is used every day, sending, receiving packages via our daily Amazon order. Not only does profit come from the trees, but jobs are opened up to support the timber harvesting. One job that is really significant to my family is a logger. My dad is a logger and makes his living off timber harvesting. Also, not only logging, but we need someone to build the machines and equipment used in timber harvesting. Caterpillar, among many other companies, hires millions of people in order to build these parts. Men and women working in paper mills and sawmills make a living off of the timber harvesting. In mills, lumber, cardboard, and paper are being produced. Lastly, another important advantage is wildlife and wildfire management. If a set of land has an increased risk for catching fire, a logger will go in and clear the land and manage the wildfire. Also, wildlife. If a species is endangered or is a threat to society, a logger can go in, cut down the trees, controlling the habitat, and move them away from society to where they are safe or they are not a threat to us. Once understanding the positive effects of timber harvesting, it is important to understand the negative as well. One major disadvantage to timber harvesting is the level of carbon dioxide. Trees are important for photosynthesis, which exchanges carbon dioxide for oxygen for us to breathe. Well, once trees are cut down, carbon dioxide levels will increase, which has a domino effect on the atmosphere. Because once carbon dioxide increases, that means pollution will increase, that means heat increases, and that means rain decreases. Now, rain is important for that food production, that newly cleared land that farmer planted on. Pollution will increase because of the machines used in timber harvesting, and also the buildings and factories like paper mills and sawmills produce a lot of pollution when creating these materials. Another important topic for a disadvantage would be extinction. Now, when trees are not being replanted, that could lead to an extinction of the trees, which would limit our oxygen level. Other plants do produce oxygen, but trees are one major source of oxygen. Along with trees being extinct, animals can go to extinct due to habitat loss. And although animals may not seem like a big significance to a disadvantage, it can affect the food chain, and the food chain does eventually affect us as humans. Overall, timber harvesting has many advantages and disadvantages. So far today, we have discussed timber harvesting, which included the process and the effects that result, whether it be producing paper or increasing carbon dioxide. Hopefully what you will learn from this is that how important deforestation is. Yet, if the trees are not being replanted, it can be dangerous to the environment and humankind as well.